Hello, welcome to What the Flick. Christy, Alonzo, and Matt. It's Hollywood's biggest morning, which is why we're all bleary-eyed. We're going to talk about Oscar nominations, which, for the most part, sucked. I hate these Oscar nominations so much.
I know.
I'm so angry right now.
I think there are two important things to keep in mind. One, these don't mean a fucking thing. This is an annual Hollywood circle jerk. We will all forget who won within 6 months. Makes them feel better. It's this thing that's gotten hyped, and we all talk about it all year long, but ultimately doesn't matter.
But you know what? I have to say, this is the first year for me. I know that you hate the Oscars, and I've always kind of dug them. I always think, I always try and look on the brighter side of it, like, okay, maybe the professionals are honoring what they like and what they think should be acclaimed. This is the year I don't feel that. This is the year that I'm like, okay, now I get why Alonzo hates these.
They're just baffling. And I was saying to my husband this morning, like, why do I care, right? Like, after 15 years of doing this, like, why do I care?
It's
why
imitation game versus theory of everything.
Is it like I just want to be right? Is that what it is? It's just like the stuff that I love didn't get nominated, and that's why I care? Why does it matter? Does it affect anybody actually going to these movies?
Right. I mean, with these nominations this morning, I'm now thinking, fuck it, I don't care what happens in the Oscars this year.
Boycott.
No, look, I mean, I love.
That's the problem. It's like we can't.
Unfortunately, I love Boyhood, so I'm thrilled that made a showing and bully for them because I know it means more asses and seats. Because you ask, yes, I think there is a segment of the population who take the Oscars seriously enough as a sort of badge of honor that they will dutifully troop out to, like when AMC does, like, all 9 or however many nominees there are. There's eight this year. In a weekend, they will go and sit through all of them, and it's like, well, all right, then that means more people will see Boyhood. So that's the plus. Right. That's my take. More people will see Selma.
Hopefully.
Because although that's a whole
nother
thing.
Conversation. So real fast, we should just we're bearing the lead here. So Birdman and Grand Budapest Hotel got the most nominations, right? They each get 9.
Right.
There are only 8 Best Picture nominees. They are American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. There could be 10. There are only 8.
Right.
Of these, I'm the most surprised to see Whiplash in here.
Yeah, that was not one that a lot of people were expecting. I think the J.K. Simmons nomination was a foregone conclusion, and screenplay maybe. Yeah, but beyond that, nobody was really. So yeah, that it made it to the big show. I think people were thinking that if there was a ringer in there, it would maybe be Nightcrawler. So that was a surprise. I mean, that's the thing. It's like the part of the reason that there are well-paid, full-time, year-round Oscar pundits is because there are always surprises.
Right.
Good ones or bad ones, but you don't always know how they're going to turn out.
Yeah. Another surprise, another weird thing this year is that you have Bennett Miller getting a director nomination, but Foxcatcher did not get a Best Picture nomination. I mean, I'm surprised all around at how well Foxcatcher did. Steve Carell and his nose. Both got nominated. I got a makeup nomination for Steve Carell's bad nose.
That's a movie that I am less excited about the further away from it I get. But clearly, they got it in front of the right people, and it's appealing to the people who vote in these things.
And that's a whole conversation as far as getting it in front of the right people, which is why I think Selma did not do as well as it did.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about Selma.
Selma got hosed.
Yeah.
Selma got completely screwed in this movie and in this Oscar season. And I think in large part because they dropped the ball.
Didn't send out screeners.
They dropped the ball in the campaign really badly, and I think that this is a year that you can really point to the campaigning and how effective that makes somebody's Oscar chances.
Yeah.
And I think that we know this is a little inside baseball for people watching, but Selma was only really shown in screenings before it opened in LA and New York at Christmas time. But the larger voting body didn't get screeners. And I think that this is a measure of how much people are actually bothering to go out and see movies.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, the conventional wisdom was, if you're released too early in the year, they'll forget about it. You want to be as late in the year as possible. Whereas this year, you have movies like Grand Budapest that came out in the spring and that people still remembered. Selma came in so late in the game. I mean, it screened at AFI Festival here in Los Angeles in November. And even then, we were told, it's not finished yet. We don't want a review out of it yet, although it was pretty much, I think there were a couple of effect shots or something that weren't done. We went, the Wrap reviewed it because our critic called it the best American film of the year, and I didn't think Paramount was going to complain about that. But yeah, they didn't send out screeners to the Guild, which has, that's when people talk about the Crash beating Brokeback Mountain thing, part of it is about, the skittishness about the gay content, but part of it is everybody got a fucking crash screener,
Right.
like all the guilds, all the writers, all the actors, everybody. And so, yeah, I think that's a big, I mean, yes, there's maybe a race factor, like, oh, we gave to 12 Years a Slave last year, we're covered for a while, but I think also part of the Selma thing is they didn't get screeners.
I'm not sure
Here's
about
where
that.
the
I think
race
it's logistic. Go ahead,
here's where
Sean.
the race factor comes in, though. Paramount drops the ball getting the screeners out on one film, right? One film, and so nobody of color gets nominated for any acting awards. And Ava DuVernay, the black woman, the only high-profile black director,
Black female director,
black
yeah.
female director working in Hollywood right now. The only one.
Gina
that-
Prince Bythewood.
Gina Prince Bythewood.
A rare one. I'll give you that.
Rare
There
one.
aren't that
But the
many,
only
right.
one that's in the news right now
Right, yeah.
is
Ava DuVernay.
Ava DuVernay,
Yeah.
right? And partly that's because people are pissed off. Like there's this I almost want to call it the whisper campaign about
LBJ.
the accuracy of
Which
LBJ.
didn't harm American Sniper. God knows people were talking about that movie.
Right.
That got 6 nominations.
So
Yeah.
I think that it's a measure of how far, for all the talk of Hollywood liberal, yeah, sure. A lot of people personally are invested in liberal causes in Hollywood, but Hollywood has a long way to go in the movie business to show any semblance of diversity. Yeah. These are the whitest Oscars in a long time.
Since 1998, right? Every single acting nominee is white.
And
20 nominees.
Also,
all
the writers and directors are not only white but male.
Right.
No
all
women,
your directors
no
are
gay
white men,
men,
right.
no LGBT at all, and no people of color.
So those are all the big stats. The other big shocking thing to me is the Lego Movie.
Ugh.
I thought of you this morning. I figured you were
Did you
about
see
to
what I
bust
tweeted?
out of your skin. No,
you see what
I
I
did
tweeted?
not.
I tweeted no Lego Movie nomination for Best Animated Picture. What the fucking fuck?
It's true.
That is.
It's shocking.
It is shocking that it didn't get Best Animated Picture, and I really hope it's not because it wasn't qualified.
How
Right?
could it possibly not be?
It's got live
It's a CGI. Because there's the live action part in it.
There's a
No.
percentage thing
Right.
there. So
and I'll tell you what happened. It's the old guys don't want to vote for the toy movie, right? And the Lego Movie is one of the best movies at the box office this year. It's one of the best reviewed movies of the year. Everybody loves the Lego Movie. And the Academy's like, and I guarantee you a lot of it's like, oh, it's the little kid movie, I'm not going to bother.
And I wonder too, if because it is so different visually, because they do that wonderful thing where it creates a sensation of stop motion animation with the Legos. I wonder if that was too weird, and so you get like a much more traditional pick, like Princess Kaguya, which was the LA Film Critics pick for Best Animated Film. I wonder if that has something to do with it too. Is it too different? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not as big a fan of Lego Movie as you guys. I certainly would have nominated it over Box Trolls. God
The
knows.
fucking Box Trolls. The other thing that was shocking, I think, to a lot of people was that that Life itself was not nominated for Best Documentary. What do you guys make of that?
I think that's
as Matt Seitz tweeted this morning. I'm sorry, Life itself didn't get nominated, but at least Steve James has a consistent record with these people.
It's shocking.
The Oscars didn't nominate Hoop Dreams either.
The man who made Hoop Dreams. One thing that's interesting about that is that.
And another year of not nominating Frederick Wiseman, I want to point out. National Gallery got nothing.
So Life itself did not get nominated, which is very surprising. It resonated with a lot of people. It is Roger, of course, and he's beloved still. But Finding Vivian Maier, which was co-directed by Charlie Siskel, who is Gene Siskel's nephew.
Oh, no kidding.
That got nominated. So that's another Chicago documentary, so there's that. What else is strange?
You will be happy about this too, I think, that Lost Stars got a Best Song nomination.
I like that very much. Yeah, so Everything is Awesome did get a nomination for Best Song, but it's a small consolation to me.
The one Beyond the Lights nomination was in Best Song as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Feast. Okay, so we're talking about animated movies.
Right,
so the short Feast, which plays before Big Hero 6 got nominated, which I love. I'm thrilled about that.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall for The Judge.
I now
Can we
have to
talk
see The
about
Judge.
This? Now you have to see the fucking
No,
Judge.
you don't.
He's not going to win, right? Because Edward Norton will win. J.K. Simmons will win. J.K. Simmons will win. So you're fine with that. Is anything else? Yeah. So what do you guys make of American Sniper doing so well? Because I didn't sense any kind of real momentum for it. It got 6 nominations, including Best Picture. Clint Eastwood did not get nominated for director, but he did get a DGA nomination. So that's the one place where the DGAs and the Oscars don't align.
Bradley Cooper is the first person since Renee Zellweger to get 3 consecutive acting nominations.
He's very good in it.
He's fine. That's a movie that I just find the further away I get from it, and the more I learn about the guy that it's about, the more problematic I think this movie becomes. But obviously not in a way that bothered Academy voters. The other thing I wanted to say up top is there's no such thing as a snub That makes it sound like there's one person, you know, like evilly deciding who's in and who's out. It's like it's a group voting, and the chips fall where they may.
Right. I think the shocking oversights are Ava DuVernay for Selma, David Oyelowo for
so
Selma, the Lego Movie. I think those are huge, huge misses on the collectively on the part of the Academy, and I think it's a measure of just like the stay the course, blinders, not politically conservative, but just more of the same.
Those sort of mumsy Harvey Weinstein kind of safe biopics.
And it's also, look, like
everything.
this does reflect the way movies are getting made in Hollywood. In that, it's still an issue to look like the output collectively of Hollywood and even indie films don't match up the racial and sexual makeup of this country, right? And I think that part of that, it's this self-sustaining cycle of people hire, executives hire and fund movies based on people that they've worked with before. And for 60, 70 years, it's been old white guys.
And there's also the whole thing about like, black movies don't play in China, and gay movies don't play in China. And, so
I would buy that if we saw
economics.
more Asian casting in mainstream movies.
Sure.
But come on.
That will become part of our black hat discussion later on today. Okay, so other things that are interesting. Ida got a cinematography nomination.
Yes.
I love this. It's great. It won't win. Neither will my great friend Roger Deakins. Nominated again, will not win again.
That's right. I loved it, but at the LA Film Critics dinner, the director of Ida basically talked about how the cinematographer that he hired didn't really know what he was doing.
Oh.
Yeah, did you miss that speech? So I was like, congratulations on your Oscar nomination, because the movie looks great.
It's gorgeous. So they're all going to lose to Emmanuel Lubezki for Birdman, because what he did is just extraordinary.
Which, strange enough, Birdman didn't get an editing nomination.
Did it not?
No.
Well, there is no editing.
Well, but that's the thing.
Nicely
That's
done.
the
There's like
point.
6 cuts.
Nicely done.
But
yeah,
that's the whole. I think there's a lot of cuts. It's just that they're very well.
Seamless, Boyhood got in there. Whiplash, which clearly belongs for editing, got in there. Okay, so Interstellar also, which we all found kind of garbled and hard to understand, gets sound editing and sound mixing nominations.
And score.
And the score.
For the score that drowns out half the dialogue.
No VFX awards for what they changed. Edge of Tomorrow. I was kind of surprised at that.
No, see,
nothing at all for Transformers.
Nothing
there
at
is
all.
that. We take that.
At least got that
Right, nothing at all for a Most Violent Year either.
Yes, I know.
Jessica Chastain would have been nice to get in there for supporting actress.
She is
not in there.
I predicted that she would be overlooked, and sadly I was right.
Yeah, so on the whole, also Gone Girl just got
Actress.
Rosamund Pike nomination, but not screenplay.
Right.
So it's weird. I'm not happy with these nominations at all. Is there anything good about them?
And I think that part of our frustration with this is that now we've got a month leading up to the Oscars of, I know that in the past I'll emotionally root for a movie. There's movies that I want to win. And this one, all the ones that I wanted to win didn't get nominated in a lot of places. And so really, do I have to sit through the whole Oscars just for J.K. Simmons?
Well,
Look, if Boyhood wins Best Picture, that would be an exciting thing, I think.
And that'd be a big deal.
Because that's so not a Harvey Weinstein mumsy biopic kind of movie. That it wouldn't change anything in the long run, but it would at least be a nice diversion from the usual sort of down the middle horseshit that the Academy likes to vote for.
So maybe when we get closer to actual Oscar day, we should do like straight up Oscar picks.
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's do that too. So we'll do that too. So let us know what you guys liked and didn't like. I'm sure you guys all have opinions on these things.
No doubt.
So chime in with your thoughts. And February 22nd, right?
Yeah.
Is that your calendar?
Remember,
Or
they're
don't?
pointless.
Yeah. Bye.